Pre-inspections. Let's talk about the sellers out there that are thinking about listing their property. Pre-inspections have been a big deal lately. A lot of people are doing them. What are some things that a seller can do, and should they have one?
Pre-inspections, I think, are extremely important to have. And you say a lot of people are doing them. There are actually more that aren't doing them, and it's hurting them in their deals. And I say that just case in point. Last night, a listing agent called us this morning, and last night they got an offer on their house, and there were 17 offers on their listing, and they chose one. Well, they got the inspection this morning, and there was a gas leak in their furnace. And so, gas leak, as a buyers freak out. Well, they pulled that contract because they didn't want to have to deal with it. And so now they have to start the process over, put it back on the market, get the gas leak fixed, which means they'll have to put that on the seller's disclosure, so they have to disclose that to the public, which means it could potentially sit a little longer. They may not get as much money that they did for the multiple offers. So I always recommend a pre-inspection. And when I did listings, I was the #1 listing agent on my real estate team, and I did pre-inspections on all my homes, and it's for that reason. You don't want to get into the house and not know what's going on and lose the deal and it be a deal killer. And as the seller, you're going to have more negotiation. You're going to be holding the cards in your favor if you know what's going to happen at that part. The #1 deal killer in negotiations is the inspection. And so if you've already gotten that done before your house even goes on the market, you take that off the table.
Yeah, absolutely. And leverage. If you're the only one, you get a pre-inspection, you become aware of these issues, you can tackle them with the people, get them rectified before you go out on the market. So whenever inspection happens again, those things have already been handled. And typically an inspector will see that. They'll say, they've really taken care of this house. But it also, if you catch things later, as you know, a buyer gets involved in who makes those repairs, and they might want to send their own people in, and it just becomes a big fiasco that's
Right.
easily avoidable.
And on that note, buyers right now are generally asking 4 to 5 times more for the repair than what it costs. So if you fix it up front at your cost and get your guy to fix it, then it's going to save you a whole lot of money in the negotiation, and you'll get more value for your house.
Yeah, $50 can of paint is worth $3,000 on the walls.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
All right, what about inspectors? What are you guys looking at? Are you guys all looking at the same things? How is this done?
Yeah, we're supposed to. We're governed by the state, and really what an inspection consists of is we have a checklist. And we go down, and does it meet code or does it not? And when we say meet code, and they update the code every year, most cities do. And if it's working, like an air conditioner, it has to cool off so many degrees. And so if it meets that code, then we write that it's working properly. And if it's not, we write that it's deficient. And so we're all supposed to look at the exact same thing. Now, what differentiates us from other inspectors is that we came from a real estate background.
Yeah.
So we understand the option period, that that you wanted to get something in there quick, so you can have a shorter option period versus longer. We understand that not everything, everything in a house is fixable, and so it's not the end of the world if you have a gas leak or your foundation's bad or your roof is bad. Everything's fixable, and so we're supposed to look at all the same things. I don't know, with my experience being an agent, not all inspectors do look at the same things.
Yeah.
We're supposed to because we're governed by the state. And so when you go looking for an inspector out there, and this, you definitely want to find, those that are diligent in the process.
Absolutely. Which leads us, if I'm a seller and I'm getting ready to list my home, and I don't do a pre-inspection,
Sure.
what are some things that I can do to prepare my home for the inspection?
The first thing is kind of declutter the areas that are going to be looked at, and that a lot of inspectors get frustrated because they have to move stuff to get to the electrical panel in the garage.
Get in the attic, the pull
Get in the attic, the pull downs. Yeah, looking for the hot water heater, looking under the sinks if there's so much. and it's human natured when you get frustrated not to do as good a job,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And so I think just preparing your home that way, but also walking around and looking if there's cracks in ceilings, you know. I mean, it can be just normal wear and tear if you need to retouch paint. You know, just different maintenance things really can actually drive the value of your home up and help on the inspection.
Absolutely. You know, all these issues that come up, or any issues that may come up in an inspection, are avoidable, and they're fixable. It's really the thing. I know, sitting through a lot of inspections that I have, I know caulking, water penetration, things like that, easy things. You know, $10 tube of caulk, go
Sure.
around on a Saturday. You know, can really make a difference on a report and make you
For
and
sure.
make your house stand out.
Yeah, for sure. And it takes those tick-tacky things out of it.
Oh yeah, all those little tic-tacky things. Well, hey, I appreciate your time on this.
Sure.
This is Garrett Hand, Elite Inspection Group. If you're going to go through the process of buying, or if you're going to go through the process of selling, he's a great resource to speak with. He can put you in the right direction. And if you need more consultation from me with North Dallas Real Estate, my name is Chris Lee. I would have to answer any of your questions and be able to sit down and talk with you. Again, thank you for joining.